We've got the applause.
Oh,
Hello, everybody. This is Jasmine and Danny, straight from Texas and Quebec. Today, we're going to chat about, in this Let's Chat About series, we're going to chat about being right. Um, but before we move forward, I want to let you know that Danny is a friend of mine. We have met on Super Coach Academy. So, Danny, thank you for accepting my offer to come and chat with me.
thank you for inviting me.
So, for the people who are listening to us, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing? What are you up to right now in Texas?
Oh, wow. That's a fun question, isn't it? A
So
few
you,
things actually.
yeah,
Go ahead.
you've been doing a lot of stuff on Instagram and
Yeah, so on Instagram, I'm doing a live at 7:30 every weekday. That's Central Time, and that's just different topics, bringing on different people. Um, I found that it's fun for people to do their first Instagram live. People really struggle with going live for the first time ever, and I'm like, hey, let's get you that opportunity. So that's something big that I'm doing, and then also another thing that I'm doing right now is kind of sort of trying to navigate all the fun things that I want to talk about now that like I kind of sort of understand how talking about stuff goes and works.
mm,
It's super easy. So
yeah.
also a stay-at-home dad of twins. So that is what takes up a chunk of my daytime. But on those ends of the day, I love talking about life and all those fun things. What's it like being right?
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Um, so I don't know how we ended up with the subject of being right, but it's a cool subject if we think about it. I know I love being right.
And who does it, right?
Exactly.
Who does it?
I think that sometimes it may even interfere with stuff. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, I could see like it took me there was a time where I watched Dr. Phil. I don't so much anymore. But there was this thing that Dr. Phil, used to say is like, well, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And that like made a difference. Just these words just made a difference to me because I was kind of like, wait a second, I want to be right about this, but being right, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Like, because first of all, it could interfere with my relationship with people. When being right is more important than my relationship with people, it kind of like, so that's what my 2 cents is about that. What do you have to say?
You know, Jasmine's like before Super Coach Academy, like I was the guy that says I'd rather be right. Like you could get out. I'd rather be right, kind of guy. And that's how like I thought life was supposed to be. Like, hey, like everybody's on their own journey. Like, in fact, this is literally the metaphor I used to tell. Everybody's the captain of their own ship. If you want to get on my ship, my rules, I'm steering my ship. So that's what it is. And then Super Coach comes along, and I realized the point of a relationship is to be in a good feeling. And oftentimes, like you're saying, being right is not that good feeling.
You.
Like, and what's funny is me being right in the moment, in that moment, isn't clear thinking, isn't clear like state of being. I think it is. I think that whenever this voice inside of me is saying, no, 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 they need to understand. They need to get this right here, right now. They need to know what's going on right here. Whenever they come with that, whenever I start hearing that inside of me, like now I'm like, yo, you gotta back off a little bit here. Not necessarily for their sake, not for them. I need to back off because I'm in my head about this, and that's not that just doesn't seem to be where I get the best results.
Yeah, it's not something that we as human beings we do naturally, right? Go into the I think we're used to just going to our heads and believing whatever's up there. And then, one day we wake up and we're all calm and zen, and all of a sudden we kind of think about stuff and we go, why was I doing that? We're kind of like we don't even get it at that point. But we we just we think that that's where the truth lies, you know
Yeah.
and and then we get caught up there. But when we actually just become present to what's going on in the moment, we can just see that, it's they're different point of views and they don't mean anything. They they don't they don't they're not important. Just like, yeah, that's kind of like what's showing up for me. There was a time where I would argue, like, my relationship. I'm going to just look at my relationship with my father. My father, he's 78. He wants to be right. Although lately he started telling me, well, I'm not going to argue with you. He's kind of given up on it. I don't know if it's because I've given up on it and he's given up on it too, but, he really wants me to get his point of view. It's like, this is how it's supposed to be. And I'm kind of like, no, not for me, and he's kind of like, whatever. you know, and then
Like
I just
parents do.
chuckle. But in the past, I would argue with him. Now I just chuckle, and my relationship is different with him. It's not the same anymore. It's I guess there's like a little bit of respect there. Like, I respect that you think the way you think. I don't know if he respects the way I think. I can't talk for him, but there's more of a connection, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's more connection um, through you seeing that for yourself, whether he sees it in you or not.
Yeah.
So that really, so if you go check out like some of my like stories, here recently, I love talking about my daughter,
Yeah.
and I want to be right as a parent. And she literally laughs in the face of the idea. Literally.
Like this?
And so, yes, just like that. And so, what's fascinating, right, is like how you're saying that, hey, I don't know whether my dad is on the same wavelength or not. I don't know, but I know that this is where I am. When I realized that, hey, there's only a certain number of things I need to be right about. That's don't run in the street because there's cars. Probably shouldn't be jumping and standing on things that you're too short to like get yourself out of. And then you probably shouldn't be playing with sockets and stuff, right? So that's my big three right now. Everything else, like I'm I'm not gonna lose it. I'm not gonna lose it because there's no reason to.
Yeah.
And what I realized is like the other day she was crying for about 45 minutes and we didn't know what to do. She just put herself to sleep. Like she literally covered herself up on the couch with a bunch of bears and stuff, and she put herself to sleep. Like we all have an internal wisdom, and when we slow down enough to listen to it, I don't care that whether you're a baby or whether you're a billion years old. When we slow down enough to listen to it, it's speaking to us. It's telling us what we need. Like whether that's for me or my daughter or you or your dad, we're exactly, and this is what's crazy, we're exactly where we need to be, where we are right now. Whether we're right, whether we're wrong, who cares? Hold on one second. Garage doors going up.
I see. I see. Can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Oh, I'm gonna close the garage door now.
Okay.
No fancy budgeteer, just so you know. Kids are sleeping right now.
This is what's cool about this. This is like, my dog starts barking today. She's pretty zen. Like she's sleeping on her side, and there's, you know, it's okay. That's okay. We're in a pandemic. This is what we do.
This is what we do. New normal. Go with the flow.
Exactly. This is what it's is fun about it.
Yeah, yes. And the universe works just how it needs to.
Yeah. So before the wait, what commercial break? Before the commercial break, we were talking about being right and how listening to our wisdom is like is possible when we slow down the noise in our head, and we all have that noise in our head. That's what's interesting to see. What's interesting to see is how we are all the same, and we're creating different things. We're all creators. We're just creating different things.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I agree.
It's a very cool conversation to have. So, guys out there who are listening, if you are insisting on being right, there's another place inside you that is so peaceful and so soothing. And you can have access to it if you can let go of it. Let go of being right. Let go of wanting to be right. Or, there's the other flip side of being right. There's afraid of being wrong. Like it's the other side of the medal, I feel.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you think, no, I'm not trying to be right. No, you're afraid to be wrong, though. There's like this little tweak. Look at it a little differently. But if you can just quiet the noise and see how that is not really serving you. We have this, like, I don't know what we think. Why is it important? I don't know. I guess it's insecure thinking, right? Like if we're not right, it means something about us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. I I never thought about the other side of the coin until you just said that the other side of being, wanting to be right is not wanting to be wrong. and I could see there's so much more, I don't want to say more thinking about being being wrong. But yeah, I feel myself kind of getting insecure whenever I'm like, oh, I'm having this conversation right now. What if I answer wrong? And so like, wow, it's like there's even just now I had that feeling of like, oh, so what do I need to say? How do I say it?
Yeah.
But like, just noticing that feeling, like that was cool that I noticed it. Like it doesn't help the conversation we're having right now, but
No, but it's
but
interesting that it's occurring in the conversation that we're having right now.
yes, about being wrong, all like to say the least. Yeah, so insecure thinking for me is something that I was like, I want to put this away. Like I don't want to have insecure thinking. Like, what do you think of insecure thinking? Is that something that, like, even like, I don't want to say in terms of three people, but coming from that standpoint of like, everything is just thought. So is insecure thinking the same?
Well, I think that I think that insecure thinking is definitely thought, but I think that insecure thinking is thought with the added flavor that it means something about me.
Mm, okay, okay,
You know,
okay.
like there's thinking, there's like,
Yeah.
and then there's insecure thinking. It really like it gets to me. It's like
Ah,
it removes it says it in the name, right? Insecure. It removes my security.
yeah, that just came to life for me when you just said that because it just like happened, right? The garage door goes up. What does that mean about this recording, or what does that mean about this live? This loud noise is going up and down. I don't know if you experienced that, but I did.
I'm like,
And
yeah, it's okay. I'm like, I'm very
so yeah, so you didn't have the extra layer of thinking about what that means for you in that moment. And you pointing it out just now, like I can see that like so much clearer now that whenever I'm thinking about, thank you for that, Jasmine.
you're very welcome. I have no idea what I did. Tell me more.
No, just to help me see that insecure thinking, which we all have and we talk about oftentimes, and I've been a little blind to it because I haven't realized insecure thinking is just like, even if I'm layering a video or I'm layering my hair, or, layering whatever, that next layer, right, is okay. Everybody's thinking thought. Why is some thought just super like unhelpful? And that's because I'm saying, oh, this is what it means about me. This is so, oh, I don't have a haircut. That means that people are going to see me and think X. Oh, I have this kind of car, the positive. I have this kind of car. So this person is going to see me and they're going to think X of me. Or I have this kind of car. People are going to think Y of me. Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm seeing. It's like I swing insecure thinking all over the place, and I don't need it. Don't have to have it.
Hey, listen, well, I totally get it. The car thing, like I used to have a Volkswagen convertible and I kept that Volkswagen convertible for 17 years. And, by the time it hit 17 years, oh, your camera disappeared.
Oh,
But
hold on. There we go.
yeah, by the time, the car was 17 years, it needed to get fixed. It needed, an upgrade. It needed something. I had the tape in it. That's how old the car was. The radio inside was a tape.
Uh,
Um, And you know, when it was time to get a new car, I wanted a Volkswagen convertible. Like it was attached to my identity. I needed the Volkswagen convertible because it meant something about me, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I gave it up. And now I have a Scion IQ. I have a half a car, and people look at me and they go, "What is this car?" You know, I said, "It's a car for me and my dog." Okay. Just like,
Just enough. Just enough.
exactly.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I went out. I used to buy brand new cars, and I was on that like, let me buy a brand new car every 2 or 3 years, because after a certain amount of mileage, da, 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 da. And then when I don't know if you know who Dave Ramsey is, but Dave Ramsey,
No.
he's basically a debt guy. He says debt snowball, pay off all your debt, live debt free.
Oh, okay.
I went down that pathway. Now I have a 2004 car with over 200,000 miles, and I don't care
Yeah.
two squats about what anybody else thinks because this car is getting me from point A to point B, and I don't have to worry about a $500 car payment. You know what I mean? That's another way. Like I used to think that was that insecure thinking coming in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. The thinking is powerful, people. It's so powerful.
So powerful.
Wow. Well, this was a fun chat. I'm
Yes.
going to just go peek. I'm just going to go peek at our live stream here to see if anybody's listening, just to see in case, could happen. It's been seen before. Some people have been watching. No, this time they're not watching. So we can actually say, thank you, everybody. We're ending this chat. Hope it did something for you. And we will see you another time, I'm sure, because Danny and I are not done. So we'll talk to you later another time. Take care.
Yes, yes.